Segment 5, Nikud Achat, Nikud Gimel. Ma ta'asu hayom. Ma ta'asu hayom. In the past two segments, you've learned how to form a first common plural verb to indicate future action, a yiktol. Now let's use them. When this activity takes place in class, you will link up with one more classmate to form a pair, and then you will meet with another pair so that you will have a group of two speaking to another group of two. Notice the question that you'll be asking each other in the model inquiry. Ma ta'asu hayom? Ma ta'asu hayom? Since you'll want to be prepared with an interesting answer, take a little time right now to compose one, and then you can compare notes with your class partner and use one or both of them to amuse or entertain or inform the other conversation pair that you're linked up with. Draw on verbs that you've learned up to this point, such as the ones that were found in segment 5 Nikud Achat Nikud Aleph, or draw from those in the appendix that we'll be looking at in just a moment as part of this same video. In addition to a simple verb, a yiktol verb in the first common plural, please make your statement a little more interesting by supplying an object or a prepositional phrase, whether actual or outlandishly fictitious. Before we turn to the appendix, let's take a look at the sample reply that we find in the model. Nimtza lechem latet labehema hagadola. Nimtza lechem latet labehema hagadola. Nimtza is our target verb form. We will find. Lechem, the object. Latet indicates what this group will do once they find the bread or the food. And then at the end of the sentence, we're told to whom this food will be given once they find it. Here then is the appendix section corresponding to Chamesh Nikud Achat Nikud Gimel. Let's walk through some of the so-called weak verbs to appreciate how various consonants will respond when appearing in the first common plural conjugation, the we will conjugation of the yiktol. Take, for example, first nun. Just as the initial nun in third masculine singular, the he will form, will assimilate with the next consonant, that is the middle radical of the shoresh. That same assimilation of the first nun takes place with these first common plural forms. So we find nisa with a dagesh in the scene, rather than nin sa, a hypothetical form which you will never find. Included with this first nun group is lakach, since it behaves as if it were a first nun verb. We'll read them aloud, follow along and repeat. Nakeh, nakeh. Nipol, nipol. Nisa, nisa. Nitain, nitain. Nikach, nikach. Please become accustomed to the meaning with these. Each one means we will, followed by whatever is the specific meaning of the particular verb. With first yod verbs, we find the trend continuing, that is, the first common plural forms will imitate the third masculine singular, just changing out the prefix. Netze, netze. Neshev, neshev. Nelech, nelech. When we come to hollow verbs, we find that the spelling will again remind us of the spelling that we're already accustomed to with the third masculine singular of these hollow verbs, namely accommates in the prefix syllable. Navo, navo. Namut, namut. Nasur, nasur. Nasim, nasim. Nashuv, nashuv. Feel free to employ any of these verbs as you form your composition, your brief statement in response to the question, Ma ta'asu hayom? Ma ta'asu hayom?